Hey guys, so today I'm showing you how I make chicken roti, and I'm gonna be pairing it with some curried pumpkin to go inside of the roti. Also, it tastes even better with some curried pumpkin. If you've never had it, give it a try. So yeah, this recipe is gonna be very beginner friendly. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so before I even put the split peas to cook, the first thing I did was season the chicken. You could season the chicken the night before, but it needs to be marinated for at least 1 hour. Okay, so my chicken is right here seasoned, and I'm put it to the side in the refrigerator until we're ready to start cooking it. Okay, so now we're gonna start making the split peas filling for the roti skin. So you need some split peas. So my split peas is right here, and I'm just gonna place it into a pot with some water. Okay, and I'm gonna put it on the stove to boil until they're a little soft, not too soft though. So I'm also adding in a little bit of saffron or turmeric powder. Here is the split peas boiling, and it's been boiling for about 5 minutes. And as you can see, it's still hard, so I'm gonna leave it, let it continue boiling for maybe about 10 more minutes, because I want to be able to like crush it with my fingers a little, but it also needs to still have like a firm touch to it. So I'm gonna leave it, let it boil still. Okay you guys, so after about 10 minutes you're gonna take the split peas off the stove. Once you're able to take like one of the peas and like use your fingers and it breaks in half, it's good. All right, so you don't want the peas to be fully cooked. 10 to 15 minutes and turn it off. So yeah, if you let it overcook, after you grind the peas, it'll be too mushy. So, and you don't want it to be too mushy, you want it to be more grainy. So once you're able to break, the peas are able to like crack in half after about 15 minutes, you take it off the stove, and I'm gonna drain out that water in it, and we're gonna add the other ingredients to it and use a food processor or something to grind them. I chopped up a few sprigs of thyme, roughly chopped them up. I'm gonna add them to the peas, and I'm also gonna add in a few cloves of garlic that I roughly chopped up also. And we're gonna be using this in the, you can use a food processor because you want to grind it up. Here's it with the thyme and the garlic. So I'm gonna add in some ground roasted Geera. If you can't find it, you can use ground cumin, and also some amchar masala. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit, not much, and then I'm gonna transfer this to my food processor and grind it up. Okay, so we're gonna start making the dough for the roti skin. I'm gonna add 3 cups of flour. Okay, then to that I'm gonna add 1 packet of active dry yeast. Okay, now I added about half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm rubbing in about a tablespoon of butter into the flour mixture first before I start adding in the water. So just rub it into the flour until it's like crumbs. So now I'm gonna start adding in the water, and I'm using lukewarm water. Okay, make sure the water is warm. So add it in slowly until the flour comes together into the shape of a ball. If you happen to add too much water, you could always sprinkle in a little bit more flour, because you don't want the dough to be too sticky, but you don't want it to be too hard either. Alright you guys, so I kneaded the dough for about 5 minutes, and once it's soft and smooth, I'm gonna now spray the bowl that it's in with some non-stick cooking spray. I'm gonna spray the bowl and cover it and let it rest for 30 minutes. Okay guys, so while the dough is resting, I'm gonna start making the curry chicken. And I'm starting by adding in a little bit of oil into a hot pot, and I'm also gonna add in a little bit of some saffron powder and also some curry powder into the oil. I'm adding in about a tablespoon of curry powder and about a teaspoon of saffron. Okay, just mix that into the oil. Okay. And let it cook for about 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, because you want the curry to cook a little bit. I told you guys I already seasoned my chicken. If you guys want to see a full curry chicken recipe on how I season it and everything, I'll link the video down below for you guys. I'm gonna add in the chicken into the curry and just mix it. Mix everything together, and I'm gonna let that cook. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in a few cups of water, not too much, into the chicken. And once again, give that a mix to incorporate everything together. This chicken smells so good. So now I'm gonna cover down the chicken and let it cook. So I'm gonna add in some Maggi chicken bouillon cubes. So I'm just gonna crumble them in my hand and add it in the pot and mix it into the chicken. So I chopped up some potatoes. I just cut them in some huge cubes, and I'm gonna add them to the curry chicken. Alright, so you want to add them in after the chicken has been cooking for about, I would say about 20 minutes. Because I add the potatoes in when the chicken have about 30 more minutes left to cook. Okay, so add that in, half cover the pot and let the chicken and potatoes cook. Also taste the sauce and see if you need to adjust your seasoning, if you need to add any more salt or black pepper. So my chicken has been cooking for about 45 minutes. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some of the potatoes and I'm using the spoon to mash them up, to smash them in the pot, because that's gonna help the gravy thicken up a little bit. Alright, so not all of the potatoes, just some, and I'm just using my spoon to bring them up. And once your potatoes is fully cooked, your chicken is fully cooked and tender, alright, that's it, you're done cooking your curry chicken. And the last step I'm gonna do is add in some freshly chopped cilantro. If you don't have cilantro, then you could use parsley, but I prefer to use cilantro because I like the flavor that it adds to the chicken. So once the sauce dries down a little bit and it thickens, you can turn off the stove. Okay guys, so my dough is finished rising. Alright, so I'm just gonna give it a light knead and then we're gonna start filling it in. Okay, so what I'm gonna start doing now is breaking the dough apart. You want to try to make them even sizes, but you're just gonna make some small balls, okay, not too big. And I'm not making my roti skin too big, so I'm cutting the balls pretty small and I'm just squeezing it in between my hand. If you need to use a knife to do this, you can, and you just want to roughly shape them into some circles. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep doing that until I've done all of my dough, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, and I'm finished rolling out my balls, so here they are. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Alright, so if you're making larger roti skins, then you will get less. If you're making them pretty small, you could get 9 to 10. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, guys, is also you could put some flour on your counter surface if the dough is sticking to the counter surface. And yeah, I put foil paper on my counter surface for easy cleanup because I don't want to deal with the mess after. All right, but so here is the split peas that I grinded. All right, it should be a little more grainy than this, but it's fine. We gonna make it, it still does what it do, and it's all about the flavor. So here it is, and we're gonna start stuffing the balls. All right, y'all, so let me show you how I'm gonna stuff the balls. So I'm taking it and I'm using my thumbs to stuff, to like flatten out the edge of the dough. All right, you want to stretch it a little, but don't stretch the middle too much. You want to keep the middle more thick so the dough don't rip, and just stretch out the edge, the end of the dough a little. All right, and then I'm gonna take a few tablespoons of the filling and put it in the middle of the dough. Press it down. Also, I'm gonna do 2 to 3 tablespoons of the filling, and don't worry, it's gonna hold. You just have to press it down a little. Press it down in the middle so that it kind of sticks, right? And then you're gonna close the dough. So to close it, I just take it and I start from the edge and I pinch the edge, and then I pinch it and I pinch it, and you just keep pressing it down in the dough. And that's why you gotta leave the bottom kind of thicker than the edges, and close it like this. I close mine like this, and then I just bring it together like that and press it down, and then I give it a slight roll. All right, and put it aside and do the rest. So if you need to put some flour on your counter surface, you can, but I don't really need it right now, so I'm not working with any flour. But if you need it, go ahead and do so. All right, so let me show you guys one more time. Flatten out the circle. And you're gonna have like this, a flat base kind of, and then take the filling and put it in the middle, press it down, and then close it. That's it. Press down so it stays down in there, and then seal the dough. If the dough is acting like it's too full, just like work the dough up like this so that it'll seal. Okay, just pull some of the dough up from the bottom so to help it seal if your dough is seeming too full. So I'm gonna do the rest of my dough and then I'll be back. I'm finished rolling out all of my balls. So what I'm gonna do now is sprinkle some flour on the counter surface. So get your rolling pin and dust the rolling pin also with some flour. And you're gonna need a lot of flour for dusting to roll out the roti skins, okay? Because this is gonna keep this from tearing apart while you roll it out, okay? So, and then you're just gonna roll it out into the shape of a circle. And if you notice it starts tearing, I just put some flour on top wherever it's tearing to help it and keep it from tearing. That's why it's really important that when you do the filling for the split peas filling, that is like all of the peas is grinded, because if you have chunks of peas in here, then it's gonna tear the dough even more. So you start from the middle and roll out your dough as flat as you can into the shape of a circle. Okay, and what I do, if you notice your dough is starting to get out of shape, what helps me a lot is when I take my rolling pin and like you kind of roll, use the edge of the rolling pin and you roll wherever the dent is. So like right here, I would roll it there and it's gonna fix that dent. Okay, so that's what I do if it starts getting too out of shape. Is to use a rolling pin and roll the edges pretty flat, okay, because you don't want thick edges when you cook your roti. So roll the edges. So flatten the ball with your hands, use it to flatten the stuff a little and start to spread the peas filling in the middle out, okay, just a little. Then I'm gonna dust the top of my dough and my rolling pin and roll it out, okay. Remember, use the flour, extra flour, to help keep the dough from tearing if it starts tearing on you. And remember, practice makes perfect, guys. So even if you don't get this on your first try, don't give up, try again, because it took me years to really learn how to make the roti skin good, because like my flavors would always be on point but my roti skin will always be suffering. So yeah, that's why I try to make this video beginner friendly, because I'm no pro but I know how to make roti. Okay, so roll it out. And remember, if your first time it don't come out good, try again, you're gonna get it. Okay guys, so it's time to start cooking the roti skin. So I'm using my non-stick griddle skillet thingy right here. If you have a roti tower, you could use that. I have one, but sometimes I actually prefer using this right here. So yeah, if you don't have a roti tower, just use that. And what I'm gonna do is brush it with some oil. So yeah, you're gonna need a brush. If you don't have a brush, you could use, I guess, like paper towel and dip it in the oil. You're also gonna need a small cup with oil, alright? And then you're gonna need a plate to rest the roti skin on as they're cooking. And you're gonna need paper towel or parchment paper. If you have parchment paper, use that. But I don't have any right now, so I'll be using paper towels to separate the roti skin so they don't stick together. So once the pot is hot, you brush it with oil and then we're gonna put on the skin. Okay, and here's my roti skin, so I'm just gonna place it down on the hot skillet. Okay, so when you put the roti skin in the skillet, you're gonna brush it with some of the oil in the cup, brush the top and cover it with the oil, all right? And then you're gonna let it cook for about 20 to 30 seconds, not long at all. And I use my spatula to lightly press down on the roti while it's cooking all over the edges to keep the edges thin also. And then I flip it to the other side, and again you're gonna brush it with more oil, and also you let it cook for the same time, 20 to 30 seconds. And I'm cooking the roti over medium heat, okay? Once it's finished cooking, I place them on the plate and I put some paper towel on top of each roti skin to separate them and keep them from sticking to one another, okay? If you don't have parchment paper, you can use paper towel. It is, they look perfect. Like, do you guys see the color in that? It looks so good, and I promise you they taste even better. So yeah guys, that's it for my roti skin. I'm gonna stuff it with some curry chicken and some curry pumpkin, and it's absolutely delicious. Alright you guys, so the last thing I'm gonna show y'all is how I prepare my curry pumpkin. So I'm taking my piece of pumpkin and I'm removing the seeds and the guts. And then if you want, you could peel the pumpkin, but I don't peel mine, I just mash it up with the rest of the pumpkins. So I'm just gonna cut up the pumpkins into some huge chunks. All right, you want to cut it into some smaller pieces so it cooks faster. And then I'm gonna put it into my pot with some water and let it come to a boil with a few cloves of crushed garlic. And then you're gonna let it boil until the pumpkin is soft, like completely soft. Next, you can put it on a plate and mash it up, or you could just mash it up when you put it in the pot to cook with the onions. So put it on a plate and use a fork or something to mash up the pumpkin and the garlic. Then I'm gonna put my pot back on the stove. I'm adding in a little bit of oil with some diced onion, and I'm gonna cook that for about 2 minutes until the onion soften. Next, I'm adding in a little bit of curry powder and mix the curry powder with the onion and let it cook for another 2 minutes. Then you're gonna throw in the pumpkin. All right, then mix everything together, incorporate the curry into the pumpkin. And next, I'm gonna add in a little bit of sugar, not too much. So I'm gonna season up the pumpkin a little bit with some salt and black pepper, and then give the pumpkin a good stir and let it cook for about 2 more minutes, just so the ingredients can marinate with each other. And after that, that's it for the curry pumpkin. As you can see, it's soft and the color is absolutely amazing. All right, so now I'm just gonna make me a roti. So I'm taking my roti skin and I'm stuffing it with some curry chicken and potatoes, some curry pumpkin, and then I'm gonna close it up. And here it is, guys. All right, so let's cut it. Oh my god, Jesus, let me see if I can show you guys. Just look at this. I can't wait to eat. Yummy. But yeah, guys, that's it for this chicken roti video. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. I hope you guys give it a try. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it turned out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.